Hi, it's Vex, and today we have the staples, Commander staples of November 2023. That is right. This is the next to the last month of the year, and the next month, what we'll do is we'll do a year in review of the entire staple pile. That's right. You haven't seen it in a while, but you will see it soon. So these are the new staples entering into my staple pile, and I think we're probably hovering around about 400, maybe more staples. So get ready for that review at the end of the year in December. So let's actually move on to the staples we have this month. As you can see, it's kind of Esper themed right there. But we have a brand new card from Lost Caverns Ixalan. I didn't even make my top 10 video because I didn't get the rest of the cards in yet. But I did get this card in. And this card is, I'm not going to lie, this card is broken. Like, just broken. That's right. Let's read this card. Roaming Throne. 4 generic mana. And it's colorless. It goes in any deck. That's why it's also super broken. Artifact creature Golem. That doesn't really matter there. Ward 2. So you even cost mana, extra mana to destroy it. As Roaming Throne enters a battlefield, choose a creature type. Roaming Throne is the chosen type in addition to its other types. So it's really good in one of these Kindred decks, like Fairies decks. There's in Lost Caverns Ixalan, there's vampires, merfolk, pirates, and dinosaurs. Very good in any of those decks. That's why they made it generic. If a triggered ability of another creature you control of the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. Now, let's take that into consideration. If, let's say, Miriam, when you, dragon ETBs, it makes a copy. You make another copy. Well, guess what? If you have Miriam, this ETBs as a dragon. Miriam will see it, will trigger. This will make it trigger another time. Then you get 2 copies of this guy. Then you go crazy. And it also has Ward 2. Ward is also a triggered ability too. So Miriam has Ward something. You cast something on Miriam, it'll trigger twice with Roaming Throne. Well, 3 times. You have 2 Roaming Thrones. But I digress. It's just crazy. So, this is the number 1 card of Lost Caverns Ixalan. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you ever watch my video, when that video comes out, you'll know what number 1 is. Don't be surprised. This card is broken, and I don't really see it's going to be banned, but it just makes decks even more broken. This kind of auto-include in all these Kindred decks too. So it's kind of like, an elf deck right there. Actually, you don't even need to put in your Kindred type decks. You just can put it in any deck with a commander with a triggered ability and just name your commander. And if you have a couple of those on the battlefield, like Ishin, sounds really good. It's insane. This does not work with reflexive triggers. So, it's like you do this and then you may pay an X, and when you do this. The reflexive trigger doesn't trigger twice. So just remember, the original trigger will trigger twice, but the reflexive one doesn't trigger twice. So that is our staple here. We have some lands, so a lot of Esper colors. We have some lands here. We have some repeat lands. Exotic Orchard, I always need more of those, so I add it to my staples. Path of Ancestry, good in those Kindred decks, right? They go together right there. And, let's read it. ETB's tapped. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana in your color's commander. I said it wrong. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. Of course, when you tap this and cast your commander with the mana, you scry 1. But, even if you don't have any overlap, this is essentially a tap tri-land or tap quad land or tap rainbow land. So super good in those situations. Just need more of those. Then we have Ghost Quarter. I have Wasteland, Strip Mine. I just need more land destruction. There's nothing wrong with more land destruction. Of course, people hate it, and I love it. Kessig Wolf Run. This is any big creature Naya deck. Love it. Tap, add 1 colorless, then X red green. Target creature gets +X+0 and gains trample until end of turn. So you just dump your mana. X equals 10. Boom, 10 trample. Commander damage, get in there. So that is definitely a staple here. Another staple is from the Lord of the Rings, Barad-dûr. Hopefully I'm saying it right. It's a legendary land. ETB tapped unless you control a legendary creature. your commander, of course. Add black. XX black tap Amass army amass orcs X. Active only if a creature died this turn. So, it's good in a lot of decks. A lot of creatures die a lot of times. You could just tap 3 mana, make a 1/1 orc army, and every turn you make the little dude. You can even sack it. Sack this orc army to goblin bombardment or something, then make another orc army. So, and always have your little tokens. So this is the orc army token that will go with our land here. Okay, so those are the colorless staples. Even though this is a black color identity, it's technically colorless land. Then we have our blue staples here. I think I'm sloshing around cards a lot. I think I lost one. I almost forgot about this one, Serum Vision. So let's actually look at them. We have Consider. So all these basically are 1 blue, draw a card, do something, draw a card. Cantrips, good in Spellslinger decks, good to rip through your deck if you try to look for something very specific without tutoring it. We have Consider. Surveyor 1, draw a card. We have, let's get to here. Opt, Scry 1, draw a card. Serum Visions, draw a card, Scry 2. And these are instants. Well, these are sorceries because you get to do more digging. And Preordain, Scry 2, draw a card. And Chitaxin Probe is a free spell most of the time. It's 1 Phyrexian mana, so you pay with blue or 2 life. Look at target player's hand, draw a card. So that's really good for Spellslinger decks right there. And I have Ponder and Brainstorm Array in the staples pile. I was like, I need to add all the rest of the cousins here in these cantrips. Now we have some very big, powerful spells. We have our Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines. Again, I think Wizards is going on theme. They figure out what players want. Players want this term additional time, right? They just really like it. Additional time. Of course, our Elesh Norn does shut down our Roaming Throne right there. Vigilance. 4 and white. Legendary creature, Phyrexian Praetor. Vigilance. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. And yes, it does stack with our Roaming Throne right there. However, if an opponent has a Roaming Throne and you have Elesh Norn, they're very sad because permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponent's control to trigger, including those ward abilities here. So that is pretty nifty. It's just I feel like before Elesh Norn was like a way to make people salty with their Yarok decks, their Blink decks, their Brago decks. But now Elesh Norn is, it keeps the format honest against people like this and Miriam and such like that. Then my last card is a card I love to reanimate. It's a non-legendary card. I wish this could be your commander because I actually love this card a lot. Archon of Cruelty here. It costs 6 black, which is very castable in commander. Creature Archon. Flying. When it ETBs or attacks, target opponent sacrifice a creature or planeswalker. Discards a card, loses 3 life. You draw a card and you gain 3 life. I wish it said each opponent, but that would be much better. That'd probably be broken. But, I think it'd be fair in commander. I think it wouldn't be that too broken in commander. But I love doing this. I love playing decks with either ramps you out. Like my Rowan deck can ramp out this 6 generic mana. Boom, you lay this on. You just point to a person. It's like, hey, kill that creature or sack a creature, discard a card, lose 3 life. I gain 3 and I draw a card. And then if you have Swiftfoot Boots, kaboom, do it to another player or do it to the same player, make them really bitter. All right, so this is the staples, Commander staples from November 2023. I really like these set of staples, really good lands. Nothing too outrageous. They are just good role players in various decks. Well, I guess this is outrageous. This is insane role player. I don't know. I mean, I've heard lots of stories of how broken this is in practice, not even in theory. So we'll see how this plays out. I have not yet to play with this yet, but I can imagine what it does. Anyways, tell me what you think should be added to my staples list. We're going to start fresh in January of 2024. We're going to do a review next month. I can't wait to do it. It's super fun to go through all my hundreds and hundreds of staples to refresh you guys with it. I think we'll have a fun time. Anyways, if you enjoy this video, give the video a thumbs up, smash subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be alerted for videos in the future. And as always, have a wonderful day.